Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening. You all are welcome to Purposeful Designers Conference Day 4. So you should use an emoji if you were here day 1. If you were here day 1, let me see your emoji. If you were here day 2, let me see your emoji. If you were here yesterday, day 3, and if you are here today again, you deserve an accolade. Well done, well done. So without wasting much of our time again, we've waited for a lot of people, but I guess they will join in later. All right, today we are so glad to have in our midst here today. We have the person of Ambassador Oluwafemi Joseph. Can I see your emoji? Are you not glad? It's a privilege to have people like this amidst us. Let me see your emoji. Let me see. Okay, thank you. So we are so glad, we are excited to have you here today. We do not take your presence for granted. Thank you for accepting our call. Thank you for accepting our request. So without wasting time, I'm going to read through our ambassador's bio. For those who do not know Ambassador Oluwafemi Joseph is anointed by God as an apostolic and prophetic vessel for revival, a dynamic teacher of the Word of God. God, through him, gives profound insights and balance in the scriptures. He is the president of Christ Renewal Mission. Is the president of Christ Renewal Mission, a ministry with the mandate to reveal Jesus, raise kingdom ambassadors, reveal and invade the earth, the fullness of God's glory. He is the president of the Adulam Academy International, a school where people are awakened to their deepest purpose and capacity and empowered to become all that are designed for. He passionately desires to see men become all the Lord has destined for them to be. So welcome, sir. We are glad to have you. So, with the love of God and love of Christ, let's welcome Ambassador once again. Let me see your message in the chat box. Just say welcome, sir. Can I see your message? Use your emoji. Thank you. All right, sir. You have the mic now.
All right, good evening, everybody. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. I am grateful for this opportunity and privilege to speak to you. I wouldn't be turning on my camera, but I believe my voice will do the work as much as needed. All right. In a very short time, I encourage you to pay attention because you will be infused with wisdom, you will be infused with understanding, and you will be empowered with clarity as to how to navigate certain things that might have been an issue or might be an issue. Okay. And you will be empowered with the skill and tools to navigate through them. And you would also be empowered with the ability and the informations to harness and maximize productivity. Okay, so pay very good attention. I believe that a lot of work has been done in the past 3 days: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, which was yesterday, and I believe that we would make so much more progress also today. So what I'll be speaking on today is the intersection of creativity and spirituality. Now, this doesn't just have its limitation to graphic designers. It extends and cuts across every creative person, everybody with a creative ability and assignments and capacity. So if you're a creative, this speaks directly to you. I believe you can all hear me.
Yes, sir, we can.
All right. So the intersection, that is the connectivity of creativity and spirituality, the junction, the meeting point of creativity and spirituality. So what we are trying to say is the point where your creativity and your spirituality meets. The point where where creativity is powered by your spirituality, your ability to be creative, your capacity to be productive, your ability to be consistently and perpetually creative, how it is powered by your spirituality. Okay. So without much ado, I believe we understand that I believe a couple of us understand what spirituality is, and we also understand the terms, the word creativity. Now, I'm going to be taking a bit and a bit gradually. You just flow with me. As we go together, you would grasp everything I'm trying to communicate with you. So, it's very important to understand that your creative ability is resident in your mind. And this cuts across to every creative person, be it graphics, be it music, be it whatever form of creative field you find yourself. The betting place, the workshop for your perpetual productivity is your mind. Now, knowing that your mind is the betting room, the workshop, the creative avenue and arena for every ideas, every creation, every concept, all manner that you are going to produce, knowing that your mind is the betting place for all of these things, it's then very important that we pay so much attention to the mind. I've had I remember some time ago, somebody who is very close to me mentioned that he had creative block. I'll talk about that, and I'll talk about how to overcome creative block or creativity block. A couple of persons always experience it. We all do experience that one time or the other, even as preachers. All right, even as students, sometimes you're just there, you're just blank. Like it's not just flowing in, it's not flowing out. You don't even know if your mind is active for that period. It's just plain, it's just bare, it's just empty, it's just vague. So along the course of this evening, you would also know how to overcome such experiences. All right. So in whichever part of in whichever field you find yourself as a creative person, it's important to understand the place of your mind. Very, very important to understand the place of your mind. Your mind is your creative room. Your mind is your creative room. Your mind is your creative room. All right, okay. The mind is the faculty of man's reasoning and thoughts. It holds the power of imagination, recognition, and appreciation. And it is responsible for processing feelings and emotions, resulting in attitudes and actions. I'll take that again. I'll take that twice, then I would explain it. The mind is the faculty, that is the human mind, is the faculty of man's reasoning and thoughts. That is a faculty responsible for the reasoning and the thoughts. It holds the power of imagination. That is, it is through the mind that you can imagine things. It holds the power also of recognition. It's through the mind you can recognize things. Okay, it also holds the power of appreciation. It holds and it is responsible for processing feelings, emotions, resulting in attitudes and actions. You see, I said that your mind has a power of imagination and recognition. How many of you right now, listen to me, a blue Honda car or a blue Toyota Camry? How many of you really pictured, as I said it, you pictured a Toyota Camry? I believe almost everybody did picture a Toyota Camry.
Yes, sir.
And the reason why that is possible is because you have once, at one time or the other, seen a Toyota Camry. So, at the mention of Toyota Camry, your mind helps you to recognize what a Toyota Camry is. So, at the maybe you're just in your house and all of a sudden you hear a very loud blast of a gun, or that sounds like a gun. Now, what comes to your mind first? Oh, is that a gunshot? Sometimes you might now have to be told that, oh, it was a tire that got busted. Now, the moment you are now told that that loud sound you heard was not a gunshot, that it was a tire bust, the next time you hear such similar sound, two things will come to your mind. It is either a gunshot or a tire just got busted. Now, initially, the information you had was that such sound is only attributed to a gunshot. But in making inquiry, you were now told that it was not a gunshot, it was a tire burst. Now, it added to your to the information library of your mind. So the next time you now hear a similar sound, what comes across your mind now is no longer just a gunshot. What you now have another option that comes to your mind, which is the tire burst. So in being very creative, in your journey of creativity, in whichever field, graphic design, tailoring, music, artistic drawing, whatever field, the wealth of your mind will determine the extent of your productivity. The wealth of your mind will determine the extent of your productivity. That is to say that the riches that you have invested into your mind will determine the output of whatever you do. You see, your mind is a playing field. Your mind is a playing field that you have to give it what to work with. That's why if we go to scriptures, we find a scripture very interesting, a very interesting scripture for those of you who are Christians and you're listening to me. And if you're not a Christian, you could just take this as a reference to the Bible. Okay? So I'm going to quote that particular scripture to us. All right? That should be Philippians. I believe I am still audible. Okay, Philippians. All right. Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. It says that, finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. So that is to say that you have the responsibility to give your mind what to think about, what to work on, what to labor on. You have the responsibility to initiate or to supply raw materials for your mind to be able to produce such creative, so much creativity that that is excellent. In fact, the truth is that your the wealth of your creative ability is determined by what you produce. Now, I understand that there are many persons who do not have who are not well equipped with the tools to interpret or to communicate the excellent mind that they have. For example, as a graphic designer, it's possible that you have not learned so much on your skill to help you interpret the images you have captured in your heart that you want to interpret. So you are told to design something. You have that thing in your in the canvas of your mind, but you have not been equipped with the tools, with the skill set, the adequate capacity to be able to interpret that that picture you have on the canvas of your mind into reality. So I understand that there are such situations. That is why one of the best things you will do for yourself as a creative in any capacity is to develop yourself so much to the point. It's just like what Michael Jackson said in one of his memoirs that was discovered, in one of his jotters that was discovered, that I am going to develop myself so much to the point that nobody is better than I am in this music industry. Do you understand that? So, because there are oftentimes the issues and the challenges of inability to express what you actually have in your mind, because you don't have. It's just like a tailor, for example. You have seen this style, it is excellent, love it, you believe you can do it, you believe you should be able to do it, you got a concept of a unique style in your heart, in your mind, but you have a challenge. You can't do it because you have not been taught, because you have not been equipped with that ability. So it's not just enough to have a rich mind. It's not just enough to have an equipped mind. There are many people who are very wealthy in their mind. Their mind is so rich, but yet their life is bereft of the realities that they have read so many books, they have attended so many seminars and so many conferences. They are equipped with information, with so many, but they don't be the plan. Their excellent mind now finds expression, where there will now be a proof of the excellent mind that they possess. Are you getting me, somebody? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Your
Yes,
mind.
sir.
A lot of graphic designer, as a case study, if you're a graphic designer, and you want to become so wealthy through that skill, you see, one of the things you are going to do to yourself, you see, there are a lot of graphic designers who don't understand the power of being so versatile. And you see, if you cannot I know graphic designers, for example, who, if you check their works, give them 20 things to do, you will see certain similarities. In fact, you will see too many similarities in every of that work. It shows something. It shows that the mind is not creative enough. It shows that mind is not rich enough to be versatile. Do you understand? The mind is not equipped enough to be versatile. I'm going to read out something to you. Okay. Okay, what am I? Okay. So there is this statement by Dale Carnegie. He said something to Napoleon Hill. He said that there are two types of creativity, or there are two types of imagination. He said the first is the synthetic imagination, and the other one is the creative imagination. Synthetic imagination and creative imagination. So right now, you're going to know, as a graphic designer, you're going to know what kind of a creative you are from this explanation I want to give. He said the synthetic imagination, or the synthetic imagination, yes, is the art of recreating something from what already exists, following the saying that there is nothing new under the sun, right? So, and that everything that exists is just a rearrangement. Everything that is being done now is just a rearrangement of the things that existed, which of course is very true in our world. Okay, nothing is absolutely new. Okay, everything. Most of the things we see, not all, most of the things we see are actually rearrangement, repackaging of things that existed in one form or another. Do you understand? Then he said the other form of imagination is the creative imagination. He said this kind of imagination is not necessarily connected to something that the mind had prior information about. So that is to say that you are able to sync. So when you want to make it design, you are able to communicate deep within. You are able to have a conversation with your inner man. I would bring an understanding to what the inner man means. You're able to have a conversation with your inner man. You see, if you are giving, for example, as a pastor, we have to do so many designs for different programs, and oftentimes my challenge has been that there are often the inability of illustrating the themes of these programs by the designers. And if you check the main reason why many designers or graphic designers do not use illustration, number one, it's laziness. The inability to illustrate or to illustratively communicate the theme of a program you are told to design, for example. It's laziness, because you are not willing to tax your mind. You're not willing to commune with your inner self to generate, to create. You are told to design something. It doesn't even have to be a church programs, anything. You must be able to internalize, commune with your inner man, commune with your inner self, look through, think through, meditate. You see, and that comes to where I have to say that as a creative or as a graphic designer, you have to know how to maintain calmness. You can't be rowdy, unkept, undisciplined. You're always talking. Your mind is always busy. You're not coordinated, and be a very, very productive graphic designer. Because many of your concepts are going to be generated from stillness. From your moment of stillness, your moment of meditation, your moment of introspecting, intra-communication. That is communication within yourself. So if all you do is, I was told to design this, okay, All right. Boat and ship. Okay, put the boat, put the ship, put the title, put the name, put the address. What you are doing is that you are shutting down your creative ability. And the best way to use that gift called your mind is to constantly use it, is to consistently use it. You see, the mind is a gift, the same way you have been given so many other natural gifts by God. So the mind is also a gift. And what you do with giftings is to use it to see more from it. If you are not constantly using, utilizing, maximizing, mining a gift, do you understand? You are shutting down the broad ability, the untold wealth of that gift. You are shutting it down. The truth is that you need to know how to unleash your supernatural creative self. And that's your supernatural creative self is not going to be actualized and see the light of day if all you want to do is to just be a synthetic creative person. A synthetic creative person is just do copy and paste, you draw inspiration, which is very good. You can't be all original because you are surrounded by so many things that can inspire you, that can give you ideas into things. You can draw perception from certain things around you. That is factual truth. However, you see, your flavor, there is a unique flavor you carry that you can only tap into. All right, when you are able to mine, M-I-N-E, mine into your deeper self, into your real self. You have to be able to mine so deep. When you have to mine for gold, I went across a gold mine sometime, I think last year in Elisha, and the Shegilola resources, gold mine resources, gold refinery. Okay. And I saw how deep they were digging in search of gold. I mean, as deep as 8-10 story building. That's deep. All right. So also there are certain unique flavors and abilities you possess as a creative person that you are never going to be able to unleash until you dig so deep. You dig deep. And if you want to dig so deep, you have to be able to decide your focus. Decide what you focus on, decide what takes your time per time. Decide what commands your attention per time, so that you are able to focus on digging so deep into unleashing your unique creative self. As a graphic designer, you are going to do a lot with colors. You're going to do a lot with images. You're going to do a lot with concept, with illustration, with so many things like that. You see, one of the things that you do to equip your mind is to familiarize yourself with these things. Often, the next time you are going to be getting used to these tools should not be when next you have a design. If the next time you are getting yourself familiar with colors, with pictures, illustrations, and the likes, the truth is that you will be tapping from a stale environment. You'll be tapping from a stale resource bank. But when you are constantly equipping your mind as a graphic designer, for example, with the necessary tools you will constantly use on your job, you would realize that when you get a graphic job to do, your mind, it's like your mind has been looking, it's like a lion that is hungry. You are getting 20 concepts and ideas per second.
All right. Hello. Sorry, sir. Sorry to cut you, sir. All right. Everyone. Sorry, I used the wrong account to start this meeting. Yeah, it was not the paid version that I used, and then this meeting would end in few minutes now. So I just pasted another link into the group. You can just join in. It's live now. Just join. You can leave this one and join the new with the new link. Let's do that now seamlessly, so we can continue the meeting. I'm so sorry for cutting you. All right, let's do that now. I'm waiting. All right, you can now proceed, sir. You can proceed, sir. Okay, I think Ambassador left. He'll join back. Okay, he's back.
All right.
Welcome back, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. So, can I go ahead now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So our time is running off, and I really want to get to my. Okay. All right. So you have the responsibility as a creative person to develop an excellent mind. It's very important. And one of the ways to develop an excellent mind is that in whatever you are up to, in whichever field you are as a creative person, you constantly equip yourself. See, as much as you can, detach yourself from hostile environments that are hostile to your gift, environments that are hostile to your creative ability, environments that are harsh. You see, environments that are not amplifying your truest expression. It's like you are placing thorns. It's like you are placing proper growth in the midst of thorns. It will choke your creativity. It will choke your dynamic expression. Right? If you're, as a graphic designer, if you're constantly, now I know that there are situations where clients will tell you, oh, do it this way, do it that way, especially when you're dealing with clients who have been into doing graphics for a long time. Someone like me, I've been having need to do flyers for over 12, 13, 14 years. So when I'm meeting a graphic designer, I'm letting you know from the onset that, look, I know what I want, and I'll communicate it to you. Okay, sometimes I just leave you to come up with what you can come up with to test your ability, to see what you are, to see what you possess, to see what you can do, to see your worth and your value. Because a man's worth is in his work. All right, so I can sometimes leave you to see what you come up with, and if I say, oh no, I don't like this, so your work will now make me know how professional you are, how quick you really are. Okay, sometimes you can come across clients and you're like, and they feel they know what, and you feel you know better. So in a situation like that, you will now have the responsibility to educate them. But the truth is, if you are not sure of what you did, you can't educate a client when the client is saying, no, I don't want it this way, I want it this way. I've seen graphic designers who tell me, oh, the reason why I did this is this, the reason why I use this color is this. And by the time they are done with their presentation, you're like, wow, okay, this person knows what he or she is doing, and they are able to convince you that what they've given to you is the best for you. And it's not like they're saying, oh, they can't make adjustments, but they're just trying to share with you the imagination through from which the imagination room that bettered what they did for you. All right. So you have the responsibility. So as much as possible, avoid harsh, hostile environments to your gift. It will do so much damage over a long period of time, because you're going to keep shutting down your dynamic self. You're going to keep shutting down your dynamic creativity. Okay. And the more you shut it down, the more it's just like a well of water. If you are not constantly fetching from it, you come back to it. One of the things you will notice is that the water is now muddy. It's that it's now smelling. So you have to keep fetching from it for it to stay clean. Okay. And all of that. So you have to keep being in an environment that is beautiful to your gift and your creative self. All right. And you have the responsibility to constantly develop that excellent mind. Don't be a mediocre, please. You see, excellence is now being demanded everywhere. Excellence is now becoming the father and the mother of this game in the creative space. Okay, people are constantly searching for excellent people, and becoming an excellent person begins from having an excellent mind. And an excellent mind is not imparted. You don't get imparted with an excellent mind. The Bible speaks about Daniel, that he was able to do what he did because he had an excellent spirit. When it comes to mindset, you don't impart an excellent mindset on anybody. You train your mind to be excellent. Do you get that? Your mind is trained to become excellent. You don't receive an impartation of an excellent mind. You get your mind trained into excellence. All right. So earlier, I mentioned your. All right. So I'm going to creativity and your spirituality. So the inner man is actually a compartment of two entities. That is your soul and your spirit. You see, we are told we have the inner man. We are told we have the outward man. All right. So the inner man actually comprises of two entities, the soul and the spirit. Now, it's very important to understand that if you have followed me carefully, you would realize that your creativity would flourish well when you are connected, when your spirituality is solid. Let me explain something to you. Do you know that many times as creatives, as a book writer, as an author, and especially as a Nigerian, you can imagine Nigeria as it is right now. Is there any way your mind can be successfully sane for 30 days straight? Is anybody that has been able to maintain 30 days straight sanity? Anybody, can you please signify? In this year, especially. 30 days straight, like nothing affected your mind, nothing made you almost traumatized, nothing got you frustrated, nothing got you, to an emotional state where you be saying, my emotional health. for 30 days straight. It's almost difficult, right? Imagine you are someone who receives jobs from clients as a graphic designer every day, and something just happened to you this morning that has devastated your mind. And yes, three clients have mailed you for a job, and you have to deliver within 24 hours, within 48 hours. But your mind is troubled, your mind is devastated, the bad news has hit you, you're just lost. Yet you have to come up with concepts, you have to come up with different things to get this job done. At least you have to get paid as well. How do you navigate such scenarios if you are not spiritual? You are sucked into your emotions. You are sucked into your feelings. You got a broken heart from your babe, from your guy, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, or your fiancé or your fiancé, whichever. And you are sucking into yourself emotionally for 1 week. Yet clients are knocking on your door. Oh yeah, do this for us. 10K, 20K, do this for us. As you open your laptop, you're just blank. You look into yourself, nothing is coming. How do you navigate such scenarios and still be creative, still be productive if you are not spiritually sound? Let me tell you, let me share a bit of story with you. Through my life, I have had similar scenarios countless times. In fact, a lot of it. In fact, I have gone through a very tough scenario in my life. You understand? I have woken up one day and about 450 million naira was lost. You heard me right. 450 million naira disappeared. Gone into the wrong deal. Gone into the wrong agreement. All right? As devastated, confused, and everything that I was at that moment, within that situation, I will still go and preach. And my message would not have anything connected to what I was going through. I was still able to receive from God on what to speak to the people. I was still able to concentrate. You see, I'll be done with the administration to myself. I'll be saying, hey, money has gone. Hey, I'll be saying it. But for the moment I need to do what I need to do, I knew how to pull through and switch environments. You need to know how to switch environments. Very important if you will be productive as a creative person. You need to know how to switch environments. If you don't know how to switch environment, you will stay small for life. Because you will constantly be controlled by your emotions. You will constantly be controlled by how you feel. You will constantly be controlled by the situations and the circumstances around you. Whereas all of these things are just an environment. If someone broke your heart today, you are feeling bad. It's an environment. You can excuse yourself from that environment. There are different things you can do. I always tell myself, no matter what it is, Femi, dress up, look good, work out. Because if I decide to stay indoor, for example, I'm going to just keep thinking, keep wallowing in that thing, and that's going to keep trampling on my productivity and my creativity. Are we together? Okay, so your spirituality must be solid. Let me give you a secret. If you are very prayerful, there is nothing that can make you mentally destabilized successfully. Because no matter what hits you, if you are able to if you have a stable spiritual experience consistently, it's only a matter of when you get to pray. And not just that. Have you ever, if you're a Christian, listen to me, have you ever found yourself in a situation where you experienced God so much in the place of prayer, then you had to do some things as a designer, and inspiration was just flowing like an open river? Are you with me? In fact, I categorically and emphatically state that the best way to stay perpetually productive as a creative is to be spiritually sound and solid. To be spiritually sound and solid. Because when you are spiritually sound and solid, there are certain things that we achieve for you. Number one, it gives you a stable mind. Number two, it unlocks your creativity from your spirit connected to your soul. So let me explain this to you. There are two worlds that your creative self, your dynamic creative self, okay, will always draw from. Three worlds actually that your dynamic creativity will always draw inspiration from. Number one, your spirit man. Number two, your soul. And number three, your physical reality. So your spirit man draws inspiration from, as a Christian, from the Spirit of God. So there are times that you know that this thing that popped into your mind is not something you were used to before, you had prior knowledge of. It just came like light into your spirit. All right, then your spirit is able to interpret it through your soul, through your mind. Do you get it? So then the third place that you can draw inspiration from as a creative person is your physical reality. So there are times that you are doing certain things as a creative person based on your experiences, the things you see, the things you have captured. Do you understand? And there are times that your inspiration comes actually from your spirit man. And there are times this inspiration comes from your soul, from your mind, actually, your mind. You see what? And when you are spiritually solid, you are giving your spirit man so much ability to draw into you, to draw for you concepts. The Bible says something that eyes have not seen, ears have not heard what God has in mind for them that love him. Let me share you an experience. I remember some years ago, I got an idea to do something. The truth is, this idea, 1 hour to that time I got that idea, I had no knowledge about it. I had no thoughts about it. I was not thinking about anything close or near to it in any form or any regard. 20 minutes to the time I got that idea, there was nothing near it that I'd ever thought about in my entire life. I just stepped out of a prayer meeting after I did some things. And whilst I was just about to board, I think, a taxi, something just came forth in my spirit. It was a very beautiful, unique. Have you ever gotten such an idea that it's as if the whole world is about to, you tell yourself the whole world will hear something. Do you get that? It was so unbelievable that it came with strategies from conception to implementation. It was like an entire book downloaded into my spirit. I knew this was not something I had thought about ever before in my life. I knew this was not something I had ever conceived at any point ever. It came directly into my spirit. Okay?
How,
Now, when you receive
how do I go about that? Because I don't know anything.
Hi, Joy.
Okay.
Can you please mute yourself? Hello, Joy. Thank you.
All right. So, okay, thank you. Okay, where did I stop? All right. So now when you find yourself receiving something like that, the next phase now becomes okay. Now this might not necessarily be for graphic designers, and it also applies to graphic designers. The next thing becomes okay. My mind. Now that came from my spirit. Then my mind now has the responsibility to decode, to understand, to interpret. All right. Then you remember I mentioned to you that you have an idea in your mind. If you don't have the necessary tools and skills to interpret that idea into reality, it's still as good as nothing. Or you have inadequate skill, like you have the skill, but it's not excellent enough. Now you do that thing, but it does not mirror the exact expression of what you have in your mind, because you don't have the qualified capacity and ability to adequately interpret what you have captured in your mind. You were able to bring it out. It's just like, oh, you are told now to draw a Mercedes Benz. The truth is that not everybody have a natural ability to draw. Some persons have a natural, unique ability to draw. Someone like me, I don't know how to draw. If I am ever going to draw a Benz that will not look like yam, then I have to go and learn how to draw. I have to submit myself to someone to train me on how to draw. Do you get that? And such that when I am now told to draw a Benz, I will now draw a Benz. I won't draw a yam. Okay. Now, the truth is, when I am told to draw a Benz, and I have not been taught how to draw, train myself to draw, the truth is, in my mind, I know how Benz looks like. But the truth is that I will draw yam. I'll draw hippopotamus. Because I don't know how to draw. And when I'm done drawing it, the teacher will score me 0 because I didn't draw it well. And the truth is, I know what I want to draw, but I don't have the ability. I have not trained myself to interpret what is on my mind into reality. I have not equipped myself, armed myself with the tools and the skills that are necessary to interpret that thing on my mind. Many dreams die because of this. Many great dreams die because of this. Many dreams that would have served continents and the world died because the carriers and the conceivers of those dreams did not put themselves through the process that would empower them with the ability, the skills, the information, the education that will empower them to be able to communicate and interpret accurately that dream. Don't be that kind of person. So as a graphic designer, at whatever stage you are, beginning or you're already into it, go for massive excellence so that you can adequately interpret concepts, ideas, imaginations. Okay, so there your having achieved that, the way to constantly stay unlocked with creative ideas is to
Benz, sir.
stay
This is a Benz.
I can draw a Benz like this, but the truth is I know how Benz looks like. Thank you very much. How many of you will draw something like this if you are told to draw Benz? And the truth is, you know how to draw Benz, but this is what some of you will come up with because you've not trained yourself, you've not armed yourself, you've not put yourself, you've not equipped yourself. So we tell you to do graphic design, you are complaining. The person that told you to do it is complaining. Is this the best you can do? You two are saying they are not appreciating your work. Appreciating which work? The person knows what he or she wants. You are giving what you are giving based on your current ability, and you expect that to be celebrated. Not everybody will celebrate mediocrity. Do you understand? So In 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 your spirituality, you stay connected to enthusiasm, because the truth is, it takes enthusiasm to grow. It takes enthusiasm to be willing to develop yourself. Because one of the things spirituality does to you is that it supplies hope to you. You receive hope. You are pulling through the journey, and you have hope that when I get through the end of this journey, I'm going to achieve much more. I'm going to earn much more. I'm going to be able to connect with bigger clients, bigger organizations that are going to pay me much more. Man, this is the real Benz. All right. So your spirituality fuels you with enthusiasm. When you are prayerful, when you are deeply connected with God, it fuels your enthusiasm. It fuels your imagination. It fuels your mental stability. Mental stability. A lot of people are not mentally stable. I saw a book one time. Only 2 people everybody is mad in Lagos or something like that, except 2 or something. So it meant your spirituality maintains your mental state, and you need your good mental state as a creative person, especially as a graphic designer. You see, you are not going to be experiencing creative block if you are constantly staying spiritual. Because one of the reasons why people have creative blocks is dead. And the truth is that a good prayer life takes away exhaustion, mental, emotional, takes it off. So you find people exhausted, you find people drained. One of the things that also causes creative block is focused on too many things, scattered on too many things. One of the things that also cause creative block is wrong dieting. You can't be eating anyhow, abnormally, eating whatever comes to your mind, and expect nearly all men in Lagos are mad, yeah. And expect your mind to be constantly fruitful. Yes. One way to avoid creative block is to always exercise. There are a lot of things that exercise will do to your mind. One of the things that would help you avoid experiencing creative block is to watch what you think upon, what you feed your mind with. So if you're a graphic designer, the things that you shouldn't be listening to nonsense, gist, this blog, that blog, this blog. How do those things fuel and harness your productivity? What you should be doing majorly is connecting with graphic designers within the country, outside the country, learning more, trying out tools, trying out things. The next time you try out design should not be the next design job you get. Try to mix colors. Try to manipulate colors. Wake up one day, tell yourself, I want to work on some colors today. I want to know how to manipulate certain colors to give certain outcomes. And what you are doing, you see, hard work pays. Hard work always pays. You see, the habit you create every day determines your success in any field of life. If you are constantly giving yourself to improvement, the truth is that it won't take too long of time before you become significant. Because one of the things that will happen when you are constantly committed to developing yourself is that you are opening yourself to possibilities. For example, as a writer, if you're writing a book, do you know that the best way to successfully write is to start writing? If you just keep thinking, imagining, you won't really imagine so much. Yes, you will imagine many things. You will think about many things. But when you start writing, as you are writing, some things are coming to your mind. More things are coming to your mind. More things are coming to your mind. Things you didn't think about are coming to your mind. That's the same thing that happens when you give yourself to development. Because the more you develop, the more you commit to development, the more you commit to growth, the more ideas are coming to you, the more certain understandings are being unlocked, the more certain opportunities are being imagined. You are getting access to opportunities in your mind. You are realizing certain things that you never realized possible before. Okay, you want to stay out of creative block experience. Watch what you do with your free time. If what you do with your free time is movies, jesting, chatting, gisting, just doing things that are unproductive, on many occasions you will always have creative block. Because let me explain something to you. Do you know that sometimes you would think that the way for you to have more energy is to be sleeping? It should be sleeping 10 hours. You know, you might think that for you to have more energy, all you need to do is to be sleeping very well. For you to be stronger, you need to be eating well and be sleeping well. You know, that's not actually true. Because one way to be much more healthy and to be stronger is to watch your diet and to exercise. Do you know that exercising actually makes you stronger than sleeping 8 hours every day? Exercising 1 hour every day for an entire year makes you stronger and elongates your lifespan than sleeping 8 hours every day. But do you know the challenge? The challenge now is that exercising 1 hour every day is very difficult. So that comes to me saying that the easiest route in everything as a creative is going to shortchange your expected and desired outcomes. Don't go for the easy way out. Don't go for the easy route. Go through that seemingly hard route. There are so many things that seemingly hard route will affect on you, will impact on you for much more productivity. So the more you exercise every day, it's strenuous. It's not easy. In fact, it's not within the first week or 2 weeks that you begin to see any changes at all. But you keep doing it. You keep doing it. You keep doing it. You keep doing it. Your muscles are being strengthened. Many people are weak because of weak muscles. Then you now tell yourself, okay, what I need to do is just to be sleeping well, sleeping longer. No. To have healthier muscles, you have to exercise. That hard exercise you don't want to do, you have to do it. Do you get? So what you do with your free time is very important. What you do with your free time. So with your free time, what are you doing with your free time? What you're supposed to be doing with your free time is to be committing to much more growth. Much more growth. You find when you see people constantly complaining, they are not growing. Because people who are growing don't complain. Growing people don't complain. Complainers don't grow. I repeat, growing people do not complain because they are so focused on development and growth that they do not have the time to complain. And the more you are growing and developing, the more you know that the more you are drawing nearer to your desired outcomes, the more you are seeing that you are getting closer. But those who complain don't grow. Because all the energy you're supposed to expend on growth, you're expending it on complaint. Do you understand? So now, the intersection between creativity and spirituality is that the more spiritual you are, the more aware and committed you are to your spirituality, the more productive you are in your creativity. The more you flourish in your creativity, the more beautiful your creative manifestations are. Have you noticed sometimes? I don't know if I want someone to give me a witness on this. Have you noticed sometimes when you're just so busy, your mind is clogged, you are stressed, you are everything, and you have to do something? Then, peradventure, you are able to play some music, some nice Christian songs, for example, or you are able to find yourself in an environment of prayer. Then you are out of that environment when you are done. Then you realize that ideas begin to flow. What was a challenge for you 5 hours ago that you are struggling with suddenly now begins to flow easily? Has anyone experienced that at any time? Do I have a witness here?
Can you come again, sir?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. What I said is, have you experienced a situation where you are so tired, stressed, but you have certain things to do, maybe as a graphic designer, for example, but your mind is just blank. You are stressed. You are tired. A lot of things are going through your mind. You can't really concentrate. Then you now find yourself in the place of prayer. And all of a sudden, when you are done praying or listening to certain nice Christian songs, you now realize that your mind is stable, your mind is cool. Then suddenly you are able to now become creative again. You are able to generate ideas and do what you need to do.
Yeah,
Have
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
somebody?
Yeah, yes,
All
sir.
right. So
Yes, sir.
so you can now see why it is very important to maintain and sustain your spirituality, because it will fuel your creativity. Many things are out there to make you mad, like to make your mind really, really mad. It takes spirituality to sustain your mind. The word of God says that the God of all peace shall keep your mind and your heart in perfect peace. Okay? So creative your spirituality helps you to be creative. It helps you to sustain the sanity of your mind. It helps you to on to tap deeper into a well of deeper resources, of deeper creative resources. It helps you to it helps you to unlock the well of your spirit, to unleash dynamic innovations and concepts. Do you know that I read a story about Mark Zuckerberg, how he founded Facebook? Mark Zuckerberg went to an Indian temple as recommended by Steve Jobs before Steve Jobs died. He went to that Indian temple and he was there for about a month. And it was from there the idea of Facebook was developed. And if you know how this Indian temple works, you see they do a lot of yoga, they do a lot of um that kind of experience whereby you sit down and you're just quiet and you just look up for 5 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours. Some of you can't do it. Yet you are struggling to pray for an hour, right? You are and yet you are wondering why you are not so creative as you should. There are those who are able to tap into the wealth of their mind, and there are those who have the privilege to tap both into the wealth of their mind and the wealth of their spirit. Your spirit man is a wealthy place. Your mind is a wealthy place. You can tap into these two environments, these two locations, and unearth unimaginable creative resources. There are designers I have seen that are so unique that you wonder that, have you come across, there's a church that Maven sent to me some time ago, sent their designs to me.
And one thing I told myself about whoever is behind those designs is that this person doing, is not following the norm. This person is not being a synthetic imaginator. This person is a creative imaginator because the pattern of the designs are off all manner of graphic designs you would have ever seen before. Yet they are good and unique. In fact, they are so unique to that ministry that you can always tell that when you see a flyer like this, it's from this particular ministry. Yet somebody is responsible for this. Somebody who is able to dig so deep into the wealth of their spirit, into the wealth of their mind, and unlock a dynamic expression in the graphic design space. Right? When am I supposed to stop?
Um, I guess if you have reached the threshold,
Okay, so
you can stop,
okay,
sir.
I would round up in 5 minutes so that I can receive questions.
Okay, sir.
Okay, um, so I have been able to establish to you that when it comes to creativity, your mind is a major field. And when it comes to being consistently and perpetually experiencing consistent and perpetual flourishing in your creative journey, irrespective of whichever field you are in the creative industry, you need to be spiritual. You need to be able to connect spiritually. You need to be able to have a solid spirituality. You need to be able to, all right, there are three gates into your mind. Three gates, five gates. Your your senses, the ears, the mouth, the hands, the eyes, those gates into your mind as a creative person. You have to intentionally ensure that majority of what passes through these gates to your mind are stuffs that have to do with what you do. Okay? And you have to ensure that your spirit man is consistently healthy so that you are able to flourish creatively. Let me share something with you again. I began writing a book that I want to release next year. So at a point I got stuck. I know why I got stuck. I'll be honest with you. I got distracted by many things, many issues, many issues that have their emotional impact on me, some issues that have so much demand on my time. And the truth is, as much as I might want to say, oh, they are not affecting me, they are. In fact, they've affected me so much that I have disconnected from that book. I started it, but I have disconnected. The flow I had when I started writing it, I have disconnected from it. And that's because I am allowing myself to prioritize other things. I'm allowing my mind to prioritize other things. And whatever your mind prioritizes is what it gives fruit on. So if you prioritize so much on what on your creative field, you are going to be so much productive and fruitful. I'm yet to see anybody in the creative industry, music, whichever, whatever, that is so successful by chance. You are successful because you put in the work. Let me share something with you as I round off. There was a story of there's a story of I'm trying to remember. Just give me a second. Okay. This is my closing. um, okay. Okay, yes, I remember. So there was this basketball team in US. I read this story, and it's a true story. Okay. Not basketball, sorry, a cycling team in the UK, the in Britain, the British cycling, the organization, in 2003. Okay, they hired a new performance director, and this performance director, his name is Dave Brailsford. Okay, and at the time this man was hired, professional cyclists in England had endured almost 100 years of mediocrity. That is 100 years of engaging in cycling competitions, both at the Olympic and at one other France competition, without ever winning anything at all, until Brailsford Dave was hired. All right, the cycling organization in UK had never won anything, both at the Olympics or at the Tour de France, in 110 years. Now, when Brailsford was hired, Brailsford did something. Brailsford said that um, he said that um, he said that they will need to improve on everything by 1%. So Brailsford and the coaches began to make small adjustments on everything by 8%. So the idea was that make 1% adjustment here, 1% adjustment here. That will bring about a collective, huge, significant increase and change. Made adjustment on the chair, made 1% adjustment on the tire. They had to use I can't remember what they had to use on the tires, on their tires. They made adjustments on everything. They changed the kind of bed the cyclists sleep on, the kind of pillow they sleep on. They changed their diet. They changed their environment. They changed a lot of things. Okay. Now, the long story cut short is that just 5 years of all of this work going on. Okay. After that period, England began to win the Olympics in cycling. England won in 2015, 2016, 2017, I think 2018 and 2019. And they also won Tour de France 6 years straight. But within 6 years, it was said that they had won about 100 medals. Now, the point here is every small change you make, every small input you make, every small decision and step you take towards the betterment of yourself will impact your creativity, spiritually and mentally. Just make a 1% change and growth every single day. There are 3 things I do every day of my life. I listen to something, be it a video. There are certain people I listen to on ministerial growth, ministerial management, anything about ministry every day. I listen to something every day, okay, on leadership. I listen to something every day on finance or growth. And the truth is, the more I listen to these things every day, I am not the same 1 month ago as I am now. Because the more I listen to these things, I get certain things that I'm inspired to do, certain things I'm inspired to act upon. And the more you act on these things, the more you shift. It's just like when you are standing somewhere. The moment you lift your leg and lift it forward and drop it, you are no longer the same person. You have changed. So every action you take, every step you take every day is moving you from where you are gradually to where you should be. That little input, that little decision, that little commitment to development on your skill, your mind. You are told to do a job, a graphic job, and in your mind you just no, don't do that. Take your time, think deep, meditate, search from within, capture that thing deeper beyond the physical. You don't know if it is that one design that would bring about 100 recommendations for you, because you are able to unleash. And the truth is that when you are able to unleash your dynamic creativity, it speaks differently. Have you done designs that was so much appreciated? And the truth is that it was something that took so much of you being so creative. It wasn't so much of what you had to copy from, you had to develop from one concept or the other. Okay? So you see that the more you unleash your dynamic self, the more you make advancement, you progress. Do you get that? So I'm going to stop there for today. Thank you very much. I believe you got one or two, maybe three things. If there are questions, I'm open to them. If there are areas that you're not so clear upon, I'm open to them. Thank you very much. Yes, Mr. Maven, who is going to mediate? A lot
Yeah,
of people
sorry,
are
excuse
okay.
me. Sorry. So sorry for that. My generator went off, so I was just looking out. All
Okay,
right.
sorry about that.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm sure you all have learned so much from this session. I have nothing else to say. Right. I have nothing else to say. So because you've been here since Monday, yeah, since day one, and then like you've heard some things repeatedly now, right? You've heard about knowing yourself, self awareness. You've heard about your unique self, that you're dynamic. You've heard about personal development. You've heard about hard work, relentless. Like you've heard all the speakers that you brought since Monday have been amazing, right? So I'm going to leave you guys now. If you have questions, kindly raise your hand. Kindly raise your hand so we can. So Ambassador can answer you before he leaves. Please raise your hand if you have questions. It was well. Okay. So Sammy got no question. Who else? Who else got question? So I particularly brought him over so he can help broaden our mind, right? You see, most of everything he thought, he didn't really that mind, right? So your mind is very important. Okay, I'm wait like I'll 2 minutes more if you have to on before we release him. Okay, thank you, Raphael. Okay, you got no questions. Can you just maybe if it's M that you are, you can type in your application page to Ambassador. Just leave that in the chat box. If you have no question, leave your appreciation message in the chat box. And then what we started 2 days ago, we're going to I'm going to send a thank you flyer into the group again, so we can tag Ambassador on our story to appreciate him. He talked about my present and past. that's that's really deep. Okay, they are showing emojis. Thank you so much, Ambassador. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We don't have many people on this call like yesterday, and I guess some people are still waiting till maybe 9 p.m. I'm so sorry. You don't have to take a long time before you can be delivered, right? Thank you so much, sir. God bless you so mightily. We appreciate you again, Ambassador. Thank you so much for being
Thank you
here.
very much.
It is such an honor to have you. We do not take this privilege for granted. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, without any question, we have to release Ambassador now. We enjoy you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, sir.
And I don't know if you got a take-home message for us, sir.
Well. Okay. So ideally, I didn't expend so much emphasis on spirituality, but from all I have said so far, you are able to understand that there is a connection deep within to your creativity. You cannot disconnect. So actually, your spirituality is a combination of your soul and your spirit. So there are certain persons, for example, who are not spiritual people, who are not Christians. So what they are able to maximize as, in quotes, their spirituality is being able to tap into their their mind. And the truth is, your mind is also a part of your spirituality. In fact, your spirit and your mind are so interconnected that the Bible says that it will require a sword, the sword of the spirit, to be able to divide them, to be able to separate them. They are that so connected. You understand? Their connectivity is that much. And the truth is that your soul is a part of your spirit. I don't have the time to explain and expand on that. So there is no way you are going to be spiritually sound that it's not going to that you're not going to have a connection between your spirit and your mind. All right, and the fullness of this of your spirit and your mind will in many ways affect your creativity. So much will affect your creativity when you are spiritual. Let me tell you, today I had a lot of things to do. So I've been very busy back and forth in the past weeks. But today I had a lot of things to do. What I had to do first was to ensure that I started my day so much and very well in the place of prayer. You know what that did to me? It gave me a brain reset. It gave me a properly organized mind. I was able to articulately achieve so many things within a short period of time. I was able to prepare for ministrations I have throughout this weekend within a short period of time because my mind became coordinated. You understand? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
I
That
have to
was
go
that was
now.
awesome.
Yes.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. All right. That was powerful. That's really amazing. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. Thank you, because I need to appreciate you all, right? Because if you guys didn't join, then we would have wasted the whole day, right? Because it's not easy to organize something like this and then build people's mind. Excuse me, please. Bombo. Wagba. Okay, I'm back. So sorry. So sorry. Yeah, because I think I mentioned before that my generator stopped, and they need to help me look into it. Yeah, it's very unusual not for us not to have power supply in my area, and it's been awful for like 2 days now. So I'm literally in dark now. That's why I can't turn on my camera, my video. Okay, so that was awesome. So I was appreciating you guys. Thank you so much for joining again. Thank you. Many of the things that he mentioned, yeah, I think I mentioned it yesterday. I told you guys that Ambassador is my accountability manager, right? Like every day, everything that we do here, I have to go back and give reports to him. So to tell me, okay, this is what you're doing right, this is what you're not doing. Even to put all these things together, you need to have someone behind you. You get? And I've been saying this from day one that this is not a religious gathering, because I know that many people left, or maybe some people joined when they found out that Ambassador is a pastor or a man of God. That is not. I will tell you, I've been to many conferences. I've listened to different mind builders. There are a lot of videos that you see online. People that come to TED Talks. Today, does their spirituality matters, or does their religion matters to you? They say a lot of things. People have a lot of things in their mind. People have experiences. I watch, if you know Sadhguru, I watch Sadhguru every time, like almost. And he does yoga, yeah. And I think he worship Buddha or something, I don't know. But that man is sound. There are a lot of people who, like religion, I don't care about religion. Yeah. Once we already have God, yeah, your religion does not matter. If you are convicted to join a religion, good for you, right? So it is what you have in your mind that I want to listen to. All right. So don't think what we are doing here is a religious thing. No. If I send a message to the group and I attach Bible verse, or you feel that it's a prayer or something, it is to help you. This is not to we want to kill that religious thing in this country. Yeah. So will you tell me now that if you have a client that is from another religion that wants to pay you so well because you are good, you wouldn't work with the person? No. Right? Like Oyinda mentioned yesterday. Oyinda said some of the people that he worked with, there are people that smokes and they are very creative. There are some people that are gay and they are so good. What would you do about that? It is their belief. It is God that can change people, not you. You don't care about whether you yourself, do they know your background? And many of us, the reason why we all are, okay, let me say for the Christian and the Muslim, the reason why you are a Christian or you are a Muslim is because you were born into a family that practices that religion. If you were not born into that family, if you were born into a Buddhist family, you'll be a Buddhist. That's how it is. It's simple as that. All right. So let me not stay on that too much. Your mind rules, yes. Joy, your mind rules. And I'm so glad that you are here today, not like yesterday. Amazing. Okay, I'm going to remind us again about this class. Can you guys see? All right. I'm going to remind you about the design bootcamp. Yeah. You can see the initial price or the rate for this bootcamp is what you are seeing now, 20K and then 40K. But I had to like subsidize it for you. Like everyone that register for Purposeful Designers Conference is getting it at a discounted rate. And I'll release the flyer, like the main flyer tomorrow. But if you are interested, or you know that, okay, you don't have enough to pay everything once, you can pay twice, you can pay instrumentally. Enter my DM, tell me, okay, this is what I have now, and I'll complete my payments along the line. Okay, I have the registration link ready. If you want to pay now, just enter my DM, you pay, and then I'll send you the registration link so you can fill the form. All right, so it's going to be 2 months, right? And then you are going to have access to my space. Having access to my space means that you are going to do a lot of things together. Like we are going to collaborate, we are going to create things. Yeah, we won't just be learning design, not just design. There are times that I can recommend movie. There are times that I can recommend some videos. I can recommend books, even sometimes music. I can recommend anything to you, even food. Like we can just gist, we can do a lot of things together. We can meet, we can hang out, right? There are a lot of things that we can do together. There is something I have noticed, and I had to like sit down very well and think about how things works. I've studied the Nigerian industry, right? The design Nigerian industry. I see that many people who got this thing, right? Okay, let me take this space for instance. NGDX. I'll be very frank with you, and I know I'm recording this. I've been to NGDX before. Yeah, I went to NGDX conference, the first one that they did. Yeah, this year that they did, the one for this year is paid. Yeah, it's a paid one, and there is not so many crowd there, unlike the first one that they did. Yeah, people love free stuff. Yeah, people want to gain something, and then when money is attached, you see people start veering off. Okay, and another thing that I want to mention is that NGD on Facebook, you all know about it. I'm saying it now. If they ask you who said this, tell them it is me. Tell them it is Maven. That space is toxic. That space is toxic, like crazy. Okay, I noticed something. There were times that I've also sent my work to that group, to NGD. Maybe just to post what I have done. I don't post for validation. I don't post to say, okay, check it out. But when I post, people comment. They make comments. I think I posted like twice or something. But I noticed that there are some beginners who are just starting out. When they post on that space, in that group, people bully them. Most especially the admin. They bully them and they try to bullshit them. What are you doing? You want me to approve your sheet design? And I'll be like, these people are just growing, right? Most of them, you don't know what is going on at their end. Yeah, some of them don't even have a laptop to make design or to learn very well. But you are castigating them this way. I know, okay, we have to put in our hard work. You have to be serious. There are times that people are just starting. They are just starting. Some of them don't have laptop. Some of them will even complain and say, no, this is my first work. It doesn't have to be so neat like others. But they just bully them, especially the admin. And it is crazy. There are a lot of us that, even right now, the way I grew up is different from every other person. My background, my family is something else. I had to. I said some of my stories on Monday. I made mention of them that I had to like take my time at night. I do not have laptop. I'll visit I'll visit customers who have laptop and then sit with them. I'll use customers' laptop to make design for them. I'll collect my payments and then use it for TIFE. You can imagine that. So imagine that I am posting my work there and then somebody is now bullshitting me and saying you are doing trash. Will that motivate me to continue? No, it won't. Right? So that is why I am here. Like I'm coming out full time now. It took me a long time before I can do this, before I can put this together. And then there's been support of some of my friends, ambassador, and a lot of people. They've helped me, prayer and all of these things. Yeah, that's Maven, you have a lot of potential. Just push this thing out for people. And then I was also convicted. God actually made me do this. It is not for anything. I told you I have a Bible passage that is the anchor for this program. Yeah. I'm not just doing it on my own. Okay. So I took my time before I came out because some people are going through a lot. Yeah. You can't just drag them and say, no, you have to force them. But they also must be willing. If you are willing, you will eat the fruits. If you are not willing, even if you pay, it will chase you away. Okay, so I'm watching everybody on the group, people who are participating, people who are paying attention, those who are active, we are seeing you. Don't worry. You just register for the boot camp and see what will happen after then. Okay, so I'm going to be posting the main flyer tomorrow. If you are interested, enter my DM. Okay, I've sent it to some of us already. Some people entered my DM and I've sent it to them. Let's do good works. Let's grow. You can see he mentioned develop yourself. It's not a day job, but if you stay on it, you will improve. All right. Thank God my generator is back. Let me go and rest now and then get some food. So I need to go now. Thank you so much for listening to my TED Talk. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you very much, boss.
By tomorrow.
Thanks for now.
Yeah, you're welcome. By tomorrow, we'll be having Michael Yusuf. Michael Yusuf is one of my great mentors also. You're having Michael Yusuf tomorrow. You can check his page. Check his page on
Thank you, Maven.
on Instagram. Check Menzies Academy. You see what I'm talking about. The likes of there are some students of Michael Yusuf here. Yeah, in this meeting, they can testify to what I'm saying. Okay, let's change the way things are being done, right? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Joy. All right, good night. Good night. Don't forget to drop your reviews on the group. The reviews of this session, drop it. I've seen the names of everybody in this meeting. I'll come and tag you. I'll call you out if you not drop any review. I'll tag you. Okay, thank you so much. Have a good night.